Well, for all you Hummel customers out there, Hummel people, builders, plans builders, kit people, this is Terry Hallet from Hummel Aviation. I decided to start doing some videos, some short videos that would cover some questions that we have had over the years. Just some little things that I can help Matt and Lori out with. So this is going to be a half Volkswagen engine installation into an Ultra Cruiser. I'll try and cover some things that might be different for different installations, but this is pretty standard one that we've got here that we're just finishing up. So I thought I'd get something out to you. So this is a 45 horse half Volkswagen that, as it comes from Scott Kastler. All we've done is pull it out of the box, set it on this little stand just to get it ready. I'll go over all the accessory stuff that comes in the box as well, and kind of how they're applied. But for the most part right now, I just want to walk around it here quick. All the engines that I've had Scott build me, the 2-cylinder engines, I always have him put the extra spark plug in. It used to be on the bottom. Actually now it's up on top. Much more convenient. I always have him do that because if somebody wants to add secondary ignition at a later time, the biggest pain in the whole thing is getting that second plug in there. So for a few bucks, I have him put them all in. Along those lines too, all the Hummel engines that Scott builds are identified. You can see this one here says the bore and stroke, and then HA36 happens to be Hummel Aviation, the 36th engine he's built for us. So just to help you identify stuff. So we always do the secondary ignition if you're wondering why the second plug's in there. This is very, very important that you always have this counterweight. Keep track of that. It's labeled on there, the position, how it goes on. We'll cover that more when we do the prop installation, but keep track of that. You can cut it off, put it in your box somewhere, but certainly don't lose it because it's custom to every engine. The breather, he does not send a piece of 5/8 tubing. It takes a piece of 5/8. We use vinyl tubing to go out the bottom of the airplane. That does not come in the package typically. He always puts this aluminum tape over the intake and exhaust just to keep moisture out of it. It's just aluminum duct tape, I guess I'd call it. That needs to be peeled off. And as we walk around it here, so because you got exhaust, intake, the oil cooler lines are 5/16. That piece of hose comes with the engine and intake. You just have to cut it to length. He gives you the clamps and all that to put it together. But I've had people go get 1/4-inch hose because they think it's quarter. It's not. It's 5/16 fittings. Oil temperature port here is. We'll cover that again when we look at the airplane side of it. But that's the oil temperature port. Back up here is the oil pressure fitting port. It's got plastic caps in it for now. We'll cover the motor mounts and how those work. Bearing mounts, if you, for lack of a better term, I guess. Magneto drive, we'll go over how that comes out of the box. Scott's pretty good about marking things when it comes out. If you just plug it back in the same way, we always check the timing just to be sure that something doesn't get rotated, but it's always good to check that over as well. We'll go over timing and stuff too in a later video. So the accessory stuff, what comes in it is the intake. This is just how it would come. This flange has got the little tab up here that actually is a little handier. There's a mount that'll go onto here, a little rubber. I'll show you that here too. That's what this little piece is for. That's the isolation mount for that. Of course, the hose that we talked about, 5/16 hose, intake pipes, motor mounts. I got one apart here. So these would go up into the bottom of the engine because of the shoulder. It'll stick in there. You set it down in the airplane, put the top bushing on and the washer, and the bolt goes down, and there's a steel sleeve in here, and that's the torque. You just go down to bottom it out and it's installed properly. Carburetor, we'll go over a few more things with the carburetor when we go to install that. He sends steel exhaust pipes We won't put these on. I've always used the stainless steel pipes. These will last, I don't know, a couple, 3 years maybe. But I've always put the stainless pipes on that are available from Hummel Aircraft. And of course the magneto and the plug wires. So that's a quick overview. The next video will be a little bit more about the engine compartment here and where it goes in. I guess one more thing is he always sends a manual that has all your information. You know, there's torque specs, there's timing, all that kind of stuff in the manual. So that's always part of it as well. So this is the engine bay. Next time we'll look at how getting the engine bay prepped and before we set the engine in.